All right, so today we're going all the way up north.
Up north?
Yeah, to the Arctic Circle.
Oh, wow. Okay.
To dig into a story that's...
Brrr.
Yeah, right. It's a lot more than just like polar bears and Santa Claus.
Right.
We're talking about Greenland.
Oh, okay.
And Denmark.
I'm intrigued.
And a certain U.S. president who seems to have like a real estate thing for this icy wonderland.
Oh, this is about Trump wanting to buy Greenland.
Yeah, you've heard about that.
Oh, yeah. It's been in the news a bit.
It's like a reality show plot or something.
Pretty.
But it's a story about more than just like a crazy idea. It's about a whole culture.
Yeah.
Trying to figure out like...
Their place.
Yeah, their place in the world.
With like all these big global players kind of like watching, you know.
Exactly. And we're going to break it all down using this USA Today article.
Okay.
It's called, and get this.
What's it called?
It's called Bias. Greenlanders shocked, intrigued, bewildered by Trump's zeal for Arctic territory.
Oh, wow. They really captured
Oh, no, right?
the whole range of emotions.
It's a roller coaster.
For sure.
So, okay, Trump wants to buy Greenland.
Again.
Again.
It's not the first time, right?
Not even close, actually. Back in the 40s, Truman offered Denmark a ton of cash for Greenland.
Seriously?
Yeah.
How much are we talking?
Like $1.3 billion in today's money.
Wow, they must have really wanted it.
They did, but Denmark said no.
So what's different now? Why is this coming up again?
Well, Greenland has a lot going for it, you know?
Like what?
I mean, stunning landscapes, fascinating culture.
Yeah.
And then there's what's underneath all that ice.
Resources.
Exactly. You know, minerals, oil.
Yeah, those definitely play a role.
Oh, for sure. Like, it's not just about the beauty of the place, right?
Right. Resources equal power these days.
So it's surprising that, like...
Some countries are interested.
Yeah.
But it's not as simple as just showing up with a blank check, you know?
No, it's not like buying a timeshare.
Not at all. We're talking about a place with real people. Cultures, hopes, and dreams for the future, and...
We can't just ignore those voices.
They need to understand them.
To really get why this buying Greenland thing is causing such a stir.
Exactly. And the USA Today article does such a great job.
Yeah.
Of capturing the reactions from Greenlanders.
Like a mixed bag, right?
Totally. Some are shocked.
Yeah.
Some intrigued. Some just bewildered.
Like, wait, is this for real?
Yeah, exactly.
There's this one quote from a prison official named Orla Jolson.
Okay.
He said he was just totally floored by the whole thing.
Like he never saw it coming.
Nope. He even said he's open to discussing Greenland's independence.
Okay.
But not like this, not with some foreign power trying to just buy them.
Yeah, it's like, hey, we want to decide our own future.
Exactly.
Not have it decided for us.
Right. And then there's this radio producer, Christian Uloriak Jeppesen.
Okay.
Who thought the whole thing was a joke at first.
Like America buying Greenland.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly. It's like, that's hilarious.
But
then Donald Trump Jr. shows up.
No way.
In Nuuk, Greenland's capital. Seriously.
And he's not just there for like a photo op.
What's he doing?
He's handing out Maguey hats, filming a documentary.
It's like he's treating it like a reality TV show.
It's so awkward.
Imagine like the son of a former president just scrolling around your country talking about buying it.
It's surreal.
Totally. It went from like a far-fetched idea to something a little too real.
So where does Denmark fit into all of this?
Right, because Greenland isn't independent right now.
It's complicated.
Yeah, how would you describe it?
It's like they're partially in charge, but Denmark still has a lot of control.
Okay, so go on.
So Greenland is what's called an autonomous territory of Denmark.
I see.
They have their own legislature.
Their own, like, Congress.
Yeah, exactly. It's called the Inatsisartut.
Oh.
They make decisions on local stuff.
But
Denmark is still in charge when it comes to the big things.
Like what?
Like the defense, national security, and finances.
So it's like they're living in their own apartment, but their parents are still paying the rent.
Yeah. That's a great analogy. So I can see how that would lead to some tension.
Oh, absolutely. Greenland's desire for independence is very real.
And it's rooted in their history with Denmark.
And that history hasn't always been fair or just...
No, it hasn't.
And that adds another layer to this whole buying Greenland debate.
You can't talk about the present without acknowledging the past.
Exactly. Greenland's past with Denmark has some really dark chapters.
Yeah, the USA Today article mentions some disturbing things.
Like what?
Like Danish doctors fitting Inuit women and girls with contraceptive devices without their consent.
It's a reminder of the impact of colonialism on Greenland
It definitely shaped their culture.
and their desire for independence,
Then there's the issue of forced family separations
where Inuit children were taken from their families.
and sent to Denmark.
It's heartbreaking.
It is, and this legacy of injustice is a huge part of why Greenland wants independence.
So in a way, Trump's offer, whether he's serious or not, it brought all these complex issues to the surface,
It's like you threw a grenade into an already delicate situation.
forcing everyone to confront the question.
Of what does the future hold for Greenland?
And for you, the listener, what would you do if you were a Greenlander?
Would you be tempted by America's offer?
Or push for complete independence on your own terms?
It's a tough call, Ray.
That's what makes this story so compelling. Yeah, it really is a tough one.
And then on top of all of that,
Nuts.
you've got Greenland's internal struggles.
Oh, yeah. They're not exactly all on the same page about this whole independence thing.
Nope. You've got some who are ready to cut ties with Denmark, like yesterday.
Yeah.
And others who are a little more hesitant.
Like worried about what it would actually mean for their lives.
Just exactly. Could they actually survive on their own economically?
Right. And what about their social programs?
It's a huge risk.
It is.
And their prime minister, Udaid, he kind of addresses this in his New Year's speech.
Oh, yeah. What did he say?
He talks about Greenland shaping its own future, choosing its partners.
Okay.
But he's also really emphasizing responsible decision-making.
It's not just about freedom.
It's about sustainability.
He's got a lot on his plate.
He does try to balance everyone's hopes and anxieties.
And then plop Trump's offer right in the middle of it all.
It's like pouring gasoline on a fire.
It really complicates things.
It makes you wonder, what are Trump's real motives here?
Yeah, is he really looking out for Greenland or...
Or is there something else going on?
Okay, let's be real.
Okay.
Geopolitics is rarely about altruism.
True, and the Arctic is becoming a really strategic region.
How so?
Well, for one thing, the ice caps are melting,
Right.
which opens up new shipping routes.
Oh, I see.
And then there are all those untapped resources.
It's like a gold rush.
Kind of. Everyone wants a piece of the pie.
So Greenland is stuck in the middle of this
Power struggle.
between global superpowers.
Exactly.
And that brings us to the whole security argument.
Right. Some people, like John Bolton, Trump's former national security advisor,
Okay.
he says that the U.S. controlling Greenland
Yeah.
would be a major win for them strategically in the Arctic.
Like they could protect shipping lanes.
Counter Russian influence.
It's like Cold War 2.0, but with icebergs.
Huh. Yeah, something like that.
But not everyone buys into that whole security threat thing.
No, some people think it's overblown.
Like, calm down, America. We got this.
Pretty much, they point out that Denmark already has a defense agreement with the U.S.
Right.
And that the U.S. used to have a way bigger military presence in Greenland.
Which they chose to scale back.
Exactly. So the whole "we need to buy Greenland to protect it" argument.
Doesn't really hold up.
Not for everyone.
So it's more complicated than it seems.
Definitely.
And this is why it's so important to hear from the Greenlanders themselves.
Their voices matter the most.
They're the ones who will be most affected by any of this.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What do they think about becoming part of the U.S.?
Or achieving full independence?
Well, it's a mixed bag.
Makes sense.
Kalalit Nunata, Radio of Greenland's public broadcaster.
Yeah.
They talk to people in Nuuk.
Oh, wow. So we get to hear directly from them?
Yeah, you get a real sense of the different perspectives.
It's like a window into the whole debate.
Exactly. You see the hopes, the fears, the uncertainty.
All playing out in real time.
Some people, like Karen Kielsen, are open to the idea of closer ties with the U.S.
They see the potential benefits.
The economic growth?
Yeah.
A higher standard of living.
It's like the American dream, but in the Arctic.
Right. But then others like Jens Danielson, they're more worried about their culture.
What if they get assimilated?
Yeah, what happens to their language and traditions?
That's a valid concern.
And then there's Imaka Boson, who's just trying to live her life amidst all of this.
It's like, can't you guys figure this out without messing up my commute?
Exactly. And then to make things even more interesting, there's this guy, Timmy Zeeb.
Okay, who's that?
He's a convicted criminal in Nuuk.
Okay.
And he shows up in a video.
A video.
Yeah, that Donald Trump Jr. shared.
What's he doing in the video?
He's wearing a man hat and shouting, "Buy us, buy Greenland."
Wait, seriously. Trump Jr. is using a convicted criminal to promote his agenda.
It's a wild story, but it gets even better.
How?
Right after he tells America to buy Greenland, Zeeb adds this totally random comment
About what?
about Americans being too fat.
What? It's like, come by us, but also lay off the burgers.
It's such a bizarre moment.
It really shows you how messy this whole thing is.
It does.
So what's the takeaway for our listeners? Like, why should they care about Greenland?
It's a reminder that even in our connected world, there are still places fighting for their identity.
And their right to self-determination.
Exactly. And we need to listen to those voices.
The Greenlanders are not just pawns in this game.
They're active participants shaping their own future.
And their story is far from over.
Yeah, it feels like we're watching this drama play out in slow motion.
With some pretty high stakes.
For sure, and it really gets you thinking, like, what would I do if I were in Greenland's shoes?
It's a tough question, right?
No easy answers.
But that's what we do here on the Deep Dive. We go beyond the headlines.
We make you think.
Look at things from different angles.
Wrestle with the complexity.
Because in this case, we're talking about the future of a whole culture.
Greenland's at a crossroads.
Trying to figure out their past and their future all at the same time.
Like standing at the edge of a map, staring into uncharted territory.
Which way will they go?
What alliances will they make?
How will they hold on to who they are in a world that's constantly shifting?
And these aren't just questions for Greenland.
No, they're questions for all of us.
Anyone who's ever felt stuck between tradition and progress.
The familiar and the unknown.
This is why this story matters, even if you've never been anywhere near the Arctic Circle.
It's a reminder that the choices we make,
big or small,
they have ripple effects.
Across the globe.
So let's recap what we've learned in our deep dive today.
Okay.
We started with Trump's pretty audacious offer to buy Greenland.
Yeah.
We dug into the history,
the economics,
the security concerns,
and most importantly, we heard from the Greenlanders themselves.
Their hopes.
Their anxieties.
Their unique perspectives.
What stands out to you the most?
I think I'm most struck by the resilience of the Greenlandic people.
Yeah.
I mean, they've been through so much.
Colonization, climate change.
And they're still fighting for the right to decide their own future.
It's inspiring.
It is. There's a strength there.
A dignity.
That you don't see every day.
It's a reminder that even when things seem impossible, there's always hope.
Always a chance to create a new path.
So as we wrap up our deep dives today,
let's leave our listeners with one final thought.
Okay, I like it.
Imagine you're sitting in a cafe in Nuuk.
Okay.
Sipping some coffee.
Sounds nice.
Listening to the Greenlandic language all around you.
And the icebergs are gleaming in the distance.
A reminder of the power of nature.
Beautiful.
What do you see for Greenland's future?
An independent nation.
A strategic partner to the U.S.
Something else entirely.
There's no one right answer.
But by thinking about these questions,
considering the different perspectives,
we can start to understand the world a little bit better.
And that's what the deep dive is all about.
We're not just here to inform.
We're here to inspire.
And challenge.
To spark those conversations that really matter.
So keep exploring.
Keep questioning.
And keep diving deep.
Because the more we understand the world around us,
the better equipped we'll be to shape the future we want to see.